Hi. So I stayed up hideously late. Okay, so wait, we got to back the story up before that. Um, my husband bought a zero sugar, which means that they use brown sugar instead of white. But zero sugar, Coca-Cola yesterday. He was using it to stay awake yesterday morning, and it just doesn't taste right. Um, but anyway, so he brought it home to me at 3 something in the afternoon. So, um, late 3 something, early 4 something is when I put it in the freezer. Because I was like, maybe it'll taste better. You know, Coke slushy, pretty good. Actually, it's really good if it's, Coke or Sprite. You just go and take your Coke or your Sprite. Make sure you open it and drink a little bit of it before you put it in there. And don't leave it in there too long because it will freeze solid and you won't be able to drink it at all. But, um, but yeah, we, I put it in the freezer and then I was going to drink it with dinner. Well, there was a lot of it left, and I drank way too much of it because I didn't just drink it at dinner, I kept drinking it afterwards. So, yeah, my bad, or my fault, whatever you want, whatever words you want to put in there. And so I stayed up until like about 4 o'clock this morning. Might have been, well, it might have technically been 3 something, but it was so weird. I looked at the clock and it said 1:20. So I'm like, okay, and started doing this. And all of a sudden it was like 3:20. And I'm like, I need to go to bed. So I did. I think I needed to go upstairs again, but anyway. I think I needed to go upstairs at the time and then, went upstairs and then came back down, went to bed. But anyway, whatever the deal was. Um, I went to sleep very late last night. Very late early this morning, so I may not be talking much. But we got most of the fireworks put in yesterday. Well, meaning me, and I was streaming it at the time for part of it, and the rest of it was after I stopped streaming. But this whole entire row here is done. The whole entire of Banshee Hill is done. The whole entire out to the next town over, which is literally what I call it in my stories. I'm not very good at making up town names. Although I guess if Fairfield is a last name, I could use Fairfield because there's like a Fairfield everywhere. There's a Fairfield in almost every state in America. Um, so I was pretty dang happy earlier. It only took me 42 minutes and 2 seconds to find the 3 animals, and I'm gonna try. Okay, so I'm probably gonna end up needing to take a nap unless I drink more of that soda, and I probably will. With breakfast, so maybe it won't keep me up all night. The idea was I was going to work on my story, but this ended up taking longer than I wanted it to. Um, because you got to battle the tree. You got to make the tree go back and hope that it doesn't grow on you while you're gone. I've had that happen before. Like you're battling the tree, forcing it back, and then all of a sudden you find a part that you've, tree battled and it's back again. It's not ideal, but it happens. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I need 6 more above that, and I think I'll be good. Why, you ask? Because that way the barrier is tall enough to not have to put up with battling the tree anymore. But if the 16 is not tall enough, then I will continue going on, going up. Anyway, yeah, I just started filling this in yesterday, and I only went down to the part where there's the gap and then the wall because there's no trees over there. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. It's not good. I would have left my story on, but it would probably be the one time where, it's actually playing in the background. I actually had, okay, so let me put it this way. The microphone was literally right next to the dang thing and it didn't record. I mean, like you could hear it on Twitch, you could not hear it anywhere else. So I don't know what was going on there, but well, maybe it didn't recognize it as a human voice. Maybe it's supposed to only pick up human voices, but it's picked it up before, is the weird thing. What I need to do is figure out how to add music to my videos, because I won't put in the music, I'll put in the story. I don't know if the story is a different, I don't know if it counts. Okay. And technically I can't get copyrighted for something that I own. Literally, outright, because I wrote it. I might have to put it on adult stream. And if I do that, then if I put on adult stream, then I'm gonna have to figure out how to get it off of uh, Twitch as fast as I can. Now that I got almost half of what I had before back again, I don't want to lose it. Um, because I want to get people interested. Like maybe we'll be going through Esperanza's party, and the chapter only goes so far. So, like you want to find out what happens to Johnny after he, uh, you'll probably want to find out what happens to Johnny afterwards. Um, and maybe you don't want to have to wait until, you know, the following Monday to find out. So then you'll want to buy a copy, and then, you buy the copy and you're like, oh, that's what happens. So I'm trying to, come up with stuff to get you interested. Um, I don't think I'm being very successful, but I'm trying. Um, because I got scenes that I think are interesting. But what if you have a different taste and, think this other part is interesting? You know? Because I think Johnny, for Esperanza's party, anyway, I think Johnny is an interesting part. And then when they get to the island, that is definitely an interesting part. It's an epic battle in the it's not an epic battle like Braveheart, where they're fighting for their freedom. They're kicking butt. The bad guys are kicking butt. It's not like that, but it's definitely who's gonna get the girl. I mean, who's gonna get the guy? See, I do that mentally, and it bugs me. Anyway, who's gonna get the guy in the end? It's gonna be Ashley, who pretty much had the guy anyway. But he just doesn't know it yet because, that's his best friend. He doesn't think for his girlfriend material. Or is it going to be Elena, who thinks that she can get anything uh, eh, as long as she asks her uncles to get it for her? Okay, see, this is taking forever, and it's not even that big of a stretch. Um, you know, it's, I mean, it's a big stretch, but it's not that big in the grand scheme of things because, we still have to do that. The around the corner side, and we gotta do um, we gotta make sure all of Banshee Hill is, um, stopped off from the trees. And I know you're saying Banshee Hill is the trees, and that's true, but see, at the moment, I have very specific things in my inventory, because I was still trying to put in fireworks, and I still have more to do. I literally made up, I mean, I made up all of them, but, I literally was like, okay, I don't know what to do on this stretch here. So I just filled it in whatever came to mind at the time. Ugh. Some of it, there's a small problem because I'm hungry. Anyway, some of it there was a small problem because uh I kept thinking, yeah, black, gray, light gray, white to start out with, and I'm like, and then I was like, yeah, and then purple and green and cyan, blue, I don't know why. And like normally I'm thinking bright colors, bright colors, bright colors, because they look the best. And this time I was like dark colors, dark colors, dark colors. Yeah. I'm trying to achieve something on the grand finale. It didn't look right last time. Um, I will tell you that the grand finale looked a hay of a lot better last time. But this time I made a short, sweet, to the point kind of um display, and it's only about 10 shorter than it was last time, I think. But it looks so much smaller because I think I had 25 across last time, and so like 10 of them, or something like, um 10 or 15 of them could be blue, and then the the rest of it was the other colors, red and white. So I don't know. I'm thinking if Okay, so I'm thinking if I don't drink the rest of that soda this morning, that I'll probably end up drinking it with dinner, and I don't want to stay up again. So I told my husband that no, it probably wasn't worth trying again because it tastes a little funny. So there was a day when I was like, okay, all of the soda tastes like aspartame at Costco for some reason. That's the sweetener that they put in diet sodas. And actually, if you have too much of it, it can kill you. Um, so I stopped having Yoplait yogurt because of that, because the light yogurt, because I liked that better, oddly enough. The light yogurt was the one that had the aspartame in it, and I'm like, that's not good. Although I don't know if it's the same now. Like at one point, Tylenol was unaliving people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So I need 4 more. Maybe 5. At least on this end. Well, anyway, we'll go up to the top of the top of the tree and maybe do one more just to make sure. Yeah. And then the problem is that you can have the small problem of the green is sticking out on the outside of the barrier blocks. I didn't know that could happen. I did know it could happen on regular walls and stuff, but I thought the barrier block would stop it off no matter what. Apparently not. That's the battle I'm having in on Banshee Hill back there. Um, I couldn't think of any really good reason why they wouldn't be allowed to go on that mountain. Well, um, hill. It it's a really big hill. Maybe it's a mountain. I don't know. It does take a long time to get around it. So anyway, oh, that's the other thing I gotta do though, because the grand finales aren't exactly in the right spot. I mean, they're not exactly set up to where they're gonna work. I was trying not to like re-terraform it, to where like you had to take out um to where you had to take out certain things like the sidewalk to um to build the thing, and to build the show. And I keep calling it a display, but it's not really a display because a display like sits there and doesn't do anything necessarily. Usually, yeah, it's like you go to a museum and you see the caveman laboring over the hot campfire thing, you know, and I mentioned that because there's a movie called Encino Man, and um, Brendan Fraser's character, Link? Yeah, I think they called him Link. Anyway, his character Link, um, what it was a caveman frozen in ice, and of course um, it's two guys. They want to be popular, and I want to say Pauly Shore was in that one. Don't quote me on it, but I think he was. Um, but anyway, um, it's two guys. The one guy wants to build a swimming pool in his backyard, and he's been digging it out and digging it out and digging it out and digging it out. Pretty much by himself, I think. And he's got a decent sized hole, really. But all of a sudden, he can't dig anymore because there's something frozen underneath the dirt. And it's like, okay, that is really weird. And they went and investigated it, and, it's this caveman, but, I don't know if they knew it was a caveman at first. But anyway, it was a caveman. So, so it turns out that it's Brendan Fraser, and he's doing, as soon as he thaws out, he's doing all the right things um, make him cool. And I think only really the bad guy, if you can call him a bad guy, he was more of a bully. But anyway, the bully is like the only one that didn't think that he was cool, and like I think they used um they used the one guy's dog license to get him into school, and yeah. So anyway, but they have a field trip at the museum, and it's showing cavemen slaving over a hot campfire to make food, and he's sitting there literally trying to make the fire to make, so he can make uh food for him and his wife. And so he's like really sad, and he ends up going back to the guy's house, and it turns out that they find his wife. She's also frozen. So they go and thaw her out, and she's alive, and Link is a lot happier. But like he was getting really frustrated and you know, you know, uh, upset, and I want to say he was crying, but I can't remember. But anyway, Brendan Fraser was a good actor. I don't know why they stopped putting him in movies. Unless that weight thing is for real, and then, you know. But, there was a whole show. I mean, literally, there was a whole show called Jake and the Fat Man. I am not saying that Brendan Fraser is fat. I am saying he's overweight. I know, overweight's kind of a nice way of saying it, but it sounds a lot nicer. And literally, I think he could start going across town to the Subway and, eating healthier and, just like that guy did, um, if he really did that. But, because you never know. I mean, it was on the news and everything, but what if it's, what if like they paid him to do that? I don't know. But it just, but like he could have been going anywhere, but he'd walk from his house on one side of town to the Subway. We can't do that because Subway is expensive. I mean, like one meal at Subway nowadays is like $16, and that's ridiculous. And what do you get for it? You get the sandwich, the drink, and a bag of chips. And it's not like the grab bag of chips. It's the little put it in the lunchbox, send it to school with your kid bag of chips. No, I think I'm exaggerating. When the bigger bags came out, it was called a grab bag because it was bigger. Okay, how many do we have now since I wasn't paying attention whatsoever? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, we definitely need a 17. And maybe even an 18. We definitely need a 17 though. Um, yeah. You know, hold on. So, okay, if I'm drinking Coke, I usually like to drink cherry Coke because the other one just, I don't know. It tastes like they're putting something else in there, you know? Um, Nowadays, it just, I like the cherry. So, I kind of sworn that zero sugar Coca Cola also had cherry, but my husband says it doesn't. So, but I could have sworn it does. I don't know. So, just in case, it may be that, like, say, Walmart has it, um, but the grocery store doesn't. Or that it's the other grocery store that has it. Something like that. Uh, because like strangely enough, one of the Walmarts over here does not have honey roasted Skippy peanut butter, but the other one does. I get so frustrated because usually we like to go to South Carson and to do our grocery shopping because it's a lower tax rate. Um, and we know where everything is. Well, we know where everything is in the other store too, but um, I'm having a thought. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it goes on top of the thing as long as it doesn't go way over there. But I'm not going to do this on Banshee Hill necessarily. Ugh. Anyway, what is that? I don't know. Oh, 15 famous tourist attractions that um, something. Probably that people go to and it scares the heck out of them or something because of the fact that, there could be mummies, there could be, in this case, because it looks like they went to, um, Egypt for that one. It's, the Curse of King Tut's tomb or something like that. Oh, that was the scariest one. Okay. Because, like, you go to, um, anyway, you go to the Mystery House in, California, and that's some scary stuff there, because the lady was, like, listening to demons or something, and, she had a ton of money. So, anyway, she's, like, listening to demons or something that were telling her, keep building, keep building, keep building, keep building. So it's like, there's staircases that go to absolutely nothing. Like it just goes up to the ceiling. Um, there's like doors on like the second or third floor that literally lead down the very, very hard way to the, so I don't want to block that off, but I do have to block this off. Um, anyway, that lead down to the first floor, or maybe lower. If there's a basement, maybe lower. Um, I've never been there before. I've seen videos on YouTube like 300 million times. Um, no, probably not that much. But, it sounds creepy. It's like I want to go there, but then on the other hand, I'm like, I'm definitely going to be taking my Bible with me just in case those demons are still there, you know? Because, like, maybe those demons are just waiting for somebody to come, um, I don't want to say with a weak mind, but, like, maybe, to carry the torch again and keep adding, you know? Um, and those videos say that, people claim that they've, gotten, chills going in that house um, and like maybe heard people talking where there's nobody there, or heard footsteps and there's nobody behind them. Stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to go there, because what if they choose me as the next person to, uh, build the thing? I mean, I'd have to have enough money to work on building the thing, but um, yeah, it's just weird. Okay, so, well, okay, we will leave that, 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 that there. I think that'll be okay. I hope so. Because, like I said, we're literally trying to keep the trees from going over what, because like this can shoot off, no problem. But there are some other spots where it looks like the tree decided to grow over that spot that it, um, oh, you know what? Oh, good. Okay. I just have to find which one's which. Love your How come everybody always wants me to add them on Discord? They don't want to talk to me here. Oh. Okay. Yeah, see, there goes me again, because I had somebody. I'm much better at answering on Discord, oddly enough, because of the fact that the little Discord symbol lights up. Or it, I think it makes a little noise sometimes too. But it lights up and it's really good. It does something to let me know that there's people there. But um, but 95% of the time I've got my, 95% of the time I have my, um, actually I'd say 99% of the time I've got my, um, computer volume off because of the fact that I don't want to get copyrighted by having or yelled at by one of the YouTubers I watch. I've got permission from a lot of them. Um, Park Pass, Sorrow, Mr. Star and Sky. Well, Mr. Star and Sky put like a thumbs up, so I just assumed. Um, I think Abram. Uh, there he's a dad of two boy cats, Kurt and Gary. They were saying that I mean he said that a whole bunch of people in the chat were saying you need to get Kurt a baby brother. You need to get Kurt a baby brother. So, okay, he finally got Kurt a baby brother. And the good news is that, it's going to come out sounding bad at first, but okay, Kurt doesn't like Abram's wife. And for some reason, maybe he's mellowed toward her more recently, but there was a time when they didn't like each other. I mean, not they didn't like each other. Um, his wife goes and tries desperately to, uh, not desperately, but goes and tries to pet him, and he either shies away or tries to bite her or something. Most of the time, or at least on camera, that's what happens. So, so it turns out though that Gary's like, yeah, as long as you want to pet me, I'm good. So it's kind of like his and her kitty cats, but Abram's always making videos. Like, uh, one time it was the most expensive cat toys he could find, like a big old giant dinosaur. And then, most recently, it was the craziest cat treats. And he's over there going, cats love treats. And it's like, okay, um, I might, I might have permission from, Chronicles of Todd also. I don't remember. I need to like start writing these down and like if I, have permission from somebody, write down when I got permission and I mean, who gave me the permission and what date, just in case I need to back up my claim. But like, it was like freeze dried minnows or something like that. Some kind of fishy food. And he's looking at it like, ew. Because apparently they smelled. And, maybe it was fresh. No, because it was in a little package. So, like, yeah, freeze dried, I think. Anyway, and the one loved it, Gary. Gary loves everything, apparently. But, Kurt was like, uh-uh. Just like, yesterday's it's not yesterday's video, but I saw it yesterday. I'm still like 2 months behind on watching videos. But anyway, there was a video where he's trying to get his cat Kurt to drink water. That's all he's trying to do. And he tried like 60 different I mean seemingly 60 different things and none of it worked to get Kurt to drink water. He only drinks water when it's condensation from Abrams, coffee, like from Starbucks or whatever. So, so the small problem is that he's gonna have to be, like if he wants Kurt to drink water, he's gotta like get a coffee every day. That's gonna get very expensive very fast. Found out what my cats really do in their litter box. I don't want to know. I'm like, as long as I use it and don't go on the floor, I'm good. Yeah. I have to do the weekly treasure hunt anyway, once a week, and those little brats. I mean, I swear they do this on purpose. Um, I just get, I just got done with the litter box, and that is when they decide to use it. Yeah. Um, and this past week, um, it's only Thursday, but, like last week, Bobby got in on it too. And do any of them apologize? I just cleaned their potty for them. No. I think one time I told them wait for 5 minutes. And they actually did. They waited about 5 minutes and then they were like, nope, I'm done. I've got to go. So annoying. Um, yeah, this is me when I'm tired, talking about things that we don't usually talk about on stream. I mean, it's something really bad. It's just something we don't usually talk about on stream. Because we don't talk about that room in the house. Just in case it makes somebody squirmy, upset somebody. Um, you might hear me call it the people litter box if I'm talking to my cats. Um, I like to talk to them like um I like to talk to them like they're smart, intelligent cats and do understand everything I say. And for the most part, I think they do. But but Sam is so stubborn. He's like, what's the bathroom? He knows where I'm going, but he's always sassy and looking at me like, what's the bathroom? No, I did not say uprising, stupid. Gosh. Hey Google, spell green rising penstemon. No, stupid. Hey Google, shut up. Dang. Pendulum. Stupid thing. Okay. Penstemon. Okay, and then no. Damn. Okay, you know how phones have autocorrect? I think it has auto. So it says I have 51 followers, but it doesn't say that anybody got added to the list. I'm confused. Anyway, think Coke Zero is one of those things that could actually um, be one of those things I could probably get used to. But it has to be cold. Like ice cold. For me to like it. And I don't know if my taste buds have changed or something where like my I don't know if like my mouth is hot all the time or something, but um you know I was I don't know if you meant to, but I was raised to believe that, I mean, I was raised to believe that, Coca-Cola is not right unless it's a certain temperature. My husband, who has to have a Coca-Cola at work with him to keep, to keep him awake, um, he doesn't believe that because, like all of a sudden, um, he had to have a soda that wasn't ice cold because he gets the 1 liters. Tired of my phone doing that. Okay, Dreamlight Valley has a springtime floating festival event. Um, it's on a special floating island, and um, it's not there all the time. It's only going to be there for a certain amount of days. Um, so I'm trying to get it done as fast as possible because um, I don't I don't want to be on there at the moment. The only thing I'm doing really is harvesting beets and bell peppers, and like I don't know how many of each one I need, so I've been going back and forth between beets and bell peppers. Um, I need more beets. I thought I had enough because I had a full, uh, or I had just about a full field of them on the Storybook Vale DLC, and I didn't have enough. I thought I did, but I only got up to like floor 4, I think, with what I had. So I need to go and buy more, and then because the beets are the ones I'm supposed to be putting in, and the bell peppers come after that. So I kind of figure if one of them comes up every 5 minutes, and the other one comes up every uh, 15 minutes. I think the bell peppers are 15 minutes, and the beets come up every 5 minutes. So that's like awesome. But right now, I don't want to work on that. I want to work on my story and at least get the next chapter finished. Want to at least get the next chapter finished. It'll probably be okay. So like, I'm trying to get that book done before my birthday, and it'll probably be that for Christmas time, I'll be like, hey, please buy my books. They make wonderful Christmas presents. Yeah, I'm starting several months early, but they do make wonderful Christmas presents. They also make wonderful birthday presents. Um, um, it, if you're into that kind of stuff, it's got the drama of the wrong guy being interested in Ashley. It's got the drama of Sean's out on a date with Coral, and there's a note taped to his windshield that says, if Coral, it says that Coral's pretty, and if she wants to stay that way, Sean should stop dating her. Um, it's got the drama of Sean got uh, kidnapped um, by yeah, by the mafia minions, and the biker ninja goes to save him. It's got all that kind of stuff, and but that brings up the thing. Okay, if Ashley has her own motorcycle, why would she need the Harley? Um, I like the Harley. Okay, so like when I was a kid, Harley was the coolest. Um, and I wanted to grow up and be able to ride a motorcycle. But, I really liked, okay, my dad had a wimpy little Honda. It had the big old bug shield, it was supposed to be a it's windshield, but for the motorcycle, so, like you don't eat bugs while you're riding your, I mean, technically you should be wearing your helmet and the visor down, so there's no way you can eat bugs. But I don't remember how far it went down. I just know when I put it on my head, it was like having headphones on your ears. The good ones that block out sound, even if there's nothing coming through the speakers. I mean, the speaker part. Um, Really good for, okay, if your mother-in-law is losing her hearing and your father-in-law doesn't understand that when she's not in the room, I mean, doesn't seem to understand that when she's not in the room, it doesn't need to be loud anymore. Um, you put those on your ears and it helps. I'm not saying it fixes it, but it does help. I've got what do I got? I can't remember what brand right now. It's a really good brand. Oh, JBL. I think I have JBLs. Anyway, it's a really good brand for noise canceling. Um, at least, when you put them over your ears and have um the they're not the earbud headphones because everybody calls those headphones, but they're earbuds. They are not headphones. Headphones have the piece that goes up and over your head. There's a difference. I'm sorry to anybody who disagrees with me, but there is a difference. And also, one I can use the headphones, and I cannot use the earbuds. If they have to go in my ear, forget it. I might be able to use the ones that go on your ear, like um, um like hearing aids, the ones that go on your ear instead of going in your ear. Cuz there's a little bit of danger with the uh there's literally a little bit of danger um with regular hearing aids because they can like get stuck in your ear. Um they're not supposed to, but they can like get stuck in there. And if I think I've probably just got like earwax in my ears, but like I don't hear stuff as good as I'm supposed to. And I understand this, and I tell people I can't hear as well as I used to. But the thing is that when I get old enough that I need hearing aids, if I need hearing aids, I'm probably gonna get the ones to go that hang out on your ear, instead of going in my ear, because I'm kind of afraid that they'd get stuck. But I think it's just maybe earwax. Because my sister had that problem. She literally had a bullet of earwax in her ear, and she didn't know it. Um, and it was just like, what did you say? And they were talking loud enough that she should have been able to hear it, but she couldn't. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's one of those. I am hoping it's one of those. If not, then um if not, it's probably from that loud TV and me not always having my headphones with me. I know better, so I usually take my purse with me when I go to their house. Or if not, I will have, like if it's summer, I'm not going to want to take my purse. It's a backpack purse, and I really cannot uh, wear my purse in the summertime because my back will get all sweaty. Yeah, I'm a great content creator, and I talk about everything, literally. Anyway, um, the thing is that okay, so I would love some book sales. Y'all would very much help me out if we had some book sales, and then and maybe if you maybe if I got some book sales, we could fix the situation. The situation that it's totally stupid, I think, but anyway, because they shouldn't force HOA things on you. They shouldn't be allowed to force it on you. But anyway, they do, and apparently we haven't been able to pay it. Although I could have sworn that they said that that was coming out of what we pay for mortgage. So, we're gonna have to go through the paperwork and see if this is even legal. Because if it was supposed to be coming out of the mortgage the whole time, then I want to get our money back. Because that's between them and the mortgage company. That's not even involving us if that's what it was supposed to be. And I'm pretty sure it was. Because that's what they told us in the office when we got the house. But anyway, I'd also like to be able to do more stuff, outside the house. Maybe go to, um, Disneyland or or that's gonna be expensive. Or um I don't know where we would park, but like go to Tahoe. Uh well, that's where we could park. If there's, if there's not paid for parking over there, we could park at um like we could park at the it's a place called the Y, and it had a Rayleigh store there. I don't know if it still does, but we could park there, take the bus to Harrah's, and well, it doesn't stop at Harrah's, but it stops near it. Anyway, take the bus to Harrah's, go and do what I want to do, and on the 18th floor, and get the most awesome view. I would love to do that. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but if I got some book sales, I could do stuff like that. Um, we could go down to San Francisco and literally, I'm going to hope for a very foggy day, but we could literally go to San Francisco where there's this really amazing lighthouse. Um, I don't remember being too interested in it when I was younger, but it's a lighthouse and it's got like 1,000 steps that go up. I don't know if I can do that anymore, actually. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't think I can do that. Um, we go up and down our stairs all the time because that's where the bathroom is. But I know usually I don't mention that room, but anyway, that's where the bathroom is. But yeah, I don't think I could do 1,000 steps. I think that'd be a little crazy. And it's like, sheer cliff on both sides. Okay, that was a good move. Okay. Um, okay, let's get that out of the way. So we're just trying to get this to where the tree shouldn't go more than right over the track. Right over the track, that's fine. But well, I think it is anyway. Um, but right over the track should be fine. Anything further than that, really bad. And anyway, hopefully I can get this done you know, by the 4th of July. And I am actually trying to get this done to where, like, I can take a nap and then record it. Record the whole thing. But the problem is with that I've got to, um, okay. I've got to make it to where, the grand finales actually work. The neighborhood grand finales. I gotta make sure that they actually work. And, the only way to do that is to send a minecart. Um, I usually send a minecart with me in it and, uh, record everything. I was kind of wondering just now. Okay, so like Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Um, okay, so I was having a theory yesterday that Stonehenge was maybe the Tower of Babel, but like there's no. Oh man. Okay, hold on. Hello?
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 Good morning, my name is Rebecca. I'm calling about a quick eligibility review on your account.
You're a
It turns out
droid.
you qualify for the updated benefits, but they were never activated. Things like credits, convenience upgrades, and added protections. So you have Part A and B, right?
Sure.
Awesome. Can you tell me your age, please?
247.
Unfortunately, you don't seem to qualify for the plans we're offering. Have a wonderful day.
I don't think there's a person alive right now that is 247. I just wanted to tell them that Darlene Prince was probably going to be really pissed that they're using her number. So I should have just, said a random number like 70. Something like that. But I don't like to lie. Now, 247, you're saying 247, that's, just coming up with a fictional number. It's not too bad. Anyway, I'm gonna try to end the stream at 11 today. We didn't have, but maybe about a minute of gap between each video today. We started out with GTA, and actually that only took about 42 minutes. Um, a few seconds over 42 minutes to get the animals, and that was really awesome. And then we did the bunny rabbit thing on, not the bunny rabbit, it was bunny rabbit last time, sorry. The Tinkerbell capybara this time. I think I'm just gonna put I'm either gonna put springtime floating festival, or I'm gonna put Tinkerbell Capybara Part 2 or Day 2. I want to put Day 2. Something like that. Anyway, because whoa, what the heck? There's like a whole thing of, like it should be probably right there. Oh, because I was trying to keep it 3 back. Huh. I didn't do that anywhere else. I didn't do that anywhere else. Oh, weird. Oh, it's because there's 3 over there. And I thought it looked really weird with the trees up close and personal like that. So I backed them off. And I don't know if I was going to take out the rest of these to keep it looking nice or not. Anyway, um, I'm trying to do the barrier block thing over here too. And then I gotta go and do it on the hill. And maybe the road to the lake. I'm not sure yet. Um, these are all parts of my story, road to the lake, and, that is creepy. Oh, okay. I looked over and it was this creepy character. Oh, it was a guy in a Scream mask. The movie Scream. Yeah. It was a guy in the Scream mask, and he was driving a truck, or at least what looked like a truck. And then it was a guy in bed, and he didn't really look scared. He looked creepy. But anyway, he has a spider, a man that is a spider, not Spider Man, but, above his bed. And it's just kind of going, woo. So, yeah, I don't know why people find that stuff entertaining. And I don't like scary stuff. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is as scary as it gets for me. And, some of that's not that scary. It's supposed to be drama, not necessarily scary, but, like drama. I think, because, she's the Slayer, but she can't tell very many people that, or it, like, it puts her people in danger, the more people, um, the more, I'll say family that knows that she's the Slayer, it puts them all in danger. So, I haven't watched, like, I haven't watched past, um, I think it's past season 5. Or maybe I haven't even watched all of season 5. I'm not sure. I know that there was that demon, and it's, when it's in its really, when it's in its really demon form, it's a female, and I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but it might be the same actress who did Wish Upon a Star, but I don't know, because I thought Wish Upon a Star came out later. But anyway, she looks different. She looks different than she did on Wish Upon a Star, if it is the same actress. But anyway, um, um, but anyway, and then when she's not feeling so, uh, angry, evil, she's like her mild mannered alter ego, twin brother, and he's really nice, and he's actually kind of, he seems like he's actually sweet on Buffy, and like he thinks she's girlfriend material, and it's just weird because Buffy kind of likes him too, and Buffy kind of likes him too, and he's just not around enough. And then I think they finally figured it out that, every time he's not around, she is. But somewhere in there, I want to say at the end of season 5, she actually somehow unalives Buffy, but Buffy's back for season 6 and 7. I think it's 7. I want to say 6 and 7. I think I have all the seasons. It's just a matter of actually popping it in and watching it. Actually, if If I want my cats to leave me alone later so I can work on my story, um, I should put in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer scares Sam because he's got such a great imagination. I know you're thinking weird, a cat with an imagination, but he really does. He's got such a good imagination that when he falls asleep, he's imagining the um he's imagining the monsters coming after him. So he doesn't act like it when he's awake, but he definitely acts like it when he's asleep. So, like, I can't really watch that show around him. And then my husband says I don't sleep so great when I watch Buffy before bed. So it's like, okay, I am not scared of the stuff on Buffy. Well, okay, the scenario I was just telling you about, um, because what the heck? It's driving me crazy because they will not go off if seriously, it will not go off if um if it's lit up like that before. So that just means that we need to hurry and get this done as soon as humanly possible. Because it just starts doing that all of a sudden, and I know there's other spots where it was doing that too. So, but I couldn't fix it yesterday because it's somewhere up Banshee Hill. Oh, that is Banshee Hill. See more barrier blocks. I'm gonna work on that sometime today. But I'm only gonna go until 11 today because I need to go upstairs, and I also need to well, I need to eat, and then I need to do uh okay, so I did I think Tuesday very early morning. Um I did the two downstairs litter boxes, and you don't have to worry about it because I don't go in that one very often, but they do have one upstairs because the boys were getting too lazy to come all the way downstairs to use the litter box, so they've got another one upstairs. And my husband was complaining about it at first, but um, but I guess it's not bugging him because it's in the kitty bedroom. Sometimes I wish it was in the uh, it was in the bedroom because every once in a while, it doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while he accidentally shuts them in the bedroom. And he's like, he comes up with, did he sneak back in there again? And it's like, yeah, duh. Um, so I get upset at him when he gets home, and he's like, I can't control if he goes back in there. Well, yeah, you can. You can do a sweep, make sure that nobody's in there. Whether you have to go to work or not. But, you know, we've got like the most well trained cats, I think. On, sometimes. You know, any animal is bound to not listen every once in a while, just like a toddler. It's like having a toddler, but having a toddler that can literally jump as high as the ceiling if they need to. Um, maybe not as high as the ceiling, but pretty close. Well, okay, if they got up on the desk, um, they could jump as high as the ceiling. I don't know. Maybe they could jump as high as the ceiling. I don't know. Um, I usually try to play when I'm not trying to get something done because I haven't worked on it in a while. Um, like I don't think I worked on this all of, like all of February and March, but then all of a sudden toward the end of April, I'm like, you know what? We need to get that done. July is coming up. Um, anyway, so like I said, I haven't seen past that on that episode. I mean, on that, like I walked in and turned on the TV, and the first thing I saw was Buffy's got a little sister, but she doesn't really have a little sister. Buffy is an only child, but the powers that be or whatever it was, because I can't remember what it really exactly is. But anyway, like we'll just say the powers that be decided to, because that was on Angel, not Buffy. But the powers that be, like gave her the, I want to say Dawn's the key. And the reason why they gave her the key, uh, aka Dawn, is because that big bad bully demon thing was coming to Earth, and Dawn's the way to stop it. Well, what was supposed to happen is the bad guy was using Dawn to like she had her on this big thing, um like just room enough for Dawn to stand on, kind of thing. um and and Dawn, yeah, like just big enough for Dawn to stand on. And I don't remember if she was like um like say handcuffed to it or what. But anyway, the bad guy was up there, and she was gonna. I think she was gonna push Dawn over, and there's like a evil portal that's gonna bring hell on earth or something like that. You know. Um. Anyway, I think that's what it was. Um. And Buffy, you know, Buffy made Dawn go down, if I remember correctly, and took her place. So, which doesn't make any sense because if it has to be the key that does it, then, switching to a vampire slayer isn't going to help, you know? But, like, if maybe, I don't know, if maybe somehow the power got transferred to her, it would make sense. But anyway, they didn't think of that, I guess. Um, I try to think, I try to think of some parts of my story as, I try to think of them as, uh, uh, I'm sorry, I'm going to say meticulously as possible. Um, you know, I try to make sure continuity does not blow it. If I said in if I say on like page 300 that she's wearing a purple top, purple shirt, and then on the next page I say she's wearing a red shirt, that's continuity blew it. And I'm going to be like, no, she wasn't. She was wearing a purple shirt. So, like, I'm listening to it even better now because I can tell the difference between the voices. And, like, if it's like Ashley's voice and it's supposed to be Chantel, I go and fix it so I can tell the difference. And maybe one of these days we can fix some of the problems because there's a page. I mean, not a page, but well. Anyway, there's a piece of story. We'll say it that way. There's a piece of story where it has a boop noise, except for it's a digital boop, and it's kind of cool, but it doesn't belong there. And then there's another one. Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of pages in Esperanza's party where the big problem is that I've got a regular voice for Hayden, and in my head, that's the way it's supposed to be. But he's from Scotland, so he would maybe sound like what's his name? Sean Connery. He might sound like Sean Connery. He might sound like James Doohan on Star Trek. I can't remember. Okay, so I can't remember. Was it Sean Connery is actually from Scotland, and he's playing an English guy, or if it was James Doohan is the English guy playing the Scottish guy. I can't remember right now, but if I remember correct, if I remember to do so, I probably won't. I am tired, but I know I'm making a lot of conversation for being tired, huh? But yeah, I just don't remember. And it's kind of annoying that I don't remember right now. But anyway, he's supposed to sound Scottish, and the closest I could come up with was making his voice Welsh. Literally, that's the best I could do. And the Australian voices only has one voice for guys. It's got like 6 voices for women, but maybe 5. There wasn't enough. Cause okay, so there's Michelle and Michelle, Natalie, triplets, Jenny, wait, no, what Patty and Jenny? What Tiffany, Patty, and Jenny. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tiffany, Patty, and Jenny. And then, and then, and then there's Kevin. They have 6 kids. So, oh, so anyway, like I said, there's one voice for an Australian male. So I had to have Jake and Jonah use the Cameron voice, which is very annoying because you can't tell the difference. Is it Jonah or is it his dad Jake? You never know. It depends on the situation. So anyway, then there's like, I use three of the whatever number of voices for the others because Tiffany, Patty, and Jenny, they're triplets, so they should probably have the same voice. That's what I do with Sean and Jesse. Have them have the same voice. So I mostly did that because I couldn't find another voice that sounded relatively young and relatively young and not having the gravelly voice of like this, but it's like it's worse. It's really worse. It kind of sounds like if I remember correctly, it sounds like the Mick Leach voice on Rescuers Down Under, which is a pretty good movie, except for that they go and try to the bad guy goes and pretty much tries to use Cody as crocodile bait. He was dangling him over Crocodile Falls, and the mice. I don't know if Bernard was there, but the mice were. The mice got him free. I think Bernard was there. Anyway, the mice got Bernard free. I mean, got Cody free. The mice got Cody free, and Cody's a little kid, and he can understand all the animals. You know, they 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 were talking, in Australian voices, but or at least American voices with a Australian accent or a Australian type accent. Um, I can kind of tell the difference is the thing. And I don't know if they actually used real Australian voices for all of the animals. Except for Bernard and Bianca, of course, because they're from New York. I think. I'm pretty sure they're from New York. Anyway, so the thing was that he took her to the fancy restaurant, and none of the humans know that they are above them on this decorative uh um I don't know if they're like on the chandelier or if they were like on a decorative thing that was attached to the ceiling, something like that. Anyway, they're up there and they're having their fancy dinner, and Bernard wants to propose to Bianca, but they end up getting called uh, to Australia, and the big problem is that um, last time they flew somewhere, they had Orville. Well, I think his name was Wilbur. I think his brother's name was Wilbur. Anyway, and he's I want to say played by John Candy, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was though. Anyway, they're what were they? Albatross. They're albatros. I think they're albatrosses. Yeah. Yeah, because in Australia, Jake uh he's um he's like um the police are called rangers there, or at least last time I looked it up they were. Um anyway, he's like a ranger. So 'Cause, I mean, it could have changed by now, but last time we saw um, Alice Springs and everything was in Crocodile Dundee uh, in Los Angeles, and it was still not, like big cityscape thing. It was, still a nice um, a nice little village town thing. It's like 6 buildings and a hotel or something like that. um, but it has its charm, especially since on the movie they always make it look great. But the the one scene, it's weird because the the um Aborigine guy, um he's Mick's friend. His name's Diamond. And they're both picking up their kids from school. But he's standing there like he's a statue for a minute there, and then Mick starts talking to him, and he livens up. But it was weird. Um. Anyway, I like the idea of Australia because that's where kangaroos come from, and koala bears, and um um oh um uh oh duck-billed platypus, I think, is from there. Um, Tasmanian devils from close to there because it's a little island off of Australia called Tasmania, and you know, but like I watched. Okay, so I just kind of liked the idea of Australia, and then I watched Quigley Down Under, and I'm like, that is, you know, I'm gonna go there one of these days. But I'm not really a traveling person, like actually having the idea that I want to go for real. I'm just more of that would be really cool to go. Yeah. Like I would like to see the Sydney Opera House, but I bet you the Sydney Opera House sounds cooler than it's like you want to go to the Sydney Opera House because of the Sydney Opera House. It sounds really awesome. But I think it's gonna be like when I saw Hollywood for the first time. I mean, granted, I was seeing Hollywood around Universal Studios, and it wasn't the best part of town, and I don't remember where we parked the car. And yeah, I kind of seem to remember that we parked the car somewhere, and then we walked up to the gate, and it was "Stay with us," kind of thing. And then we got into the park, and it was still "Stay with us," but it wasn't so much of a "Stay with us." It it's like when you're riding the Amtrak train, and you get to that one town that like nobody wants to stop at, and of course that's your stop. Or like well, I was gonna say Reno, but that's actually not too bad. I think I'm thinking of the Greyhound bus station though for that one. I don't remember. I know that we had to put. I mean, when my daughter was little, she was like 2 or 3. We had to put my mom on a bus or the train, and then the bus, something like that. Um, to get her to grandma and grandpa because she didn't have a place to stay here. I think she had just lost her job, and we have no idea why either. Um, oh, I think it was because she was too slow for fast food or at least that's the excuse they gave her. Um, because it's the what the hey. My computer screen just went black. What? It's moving and everything. Excuse you, computer. Whatever. Okay, I don't know if it's my computer or if it's YouTube or what, but they've been having some arguments lately. Um, Yesterday specifically, it ugh, yeah, I forgot what it did. Told you I'm tired. Um, what did it do yesterday? Oh, it'll just go and freeze up. It's usually with DJ Goham videos, and I think that's so weird. Um, but I kind of like to watch his videos. I don't play the game, but I kind of like to watch his videos because he does farm sim news, and then sometimes my husband will come home, and I'll be able to put on that day's farm sim news, which is the real reason why I added it. But I was like, okay, I'd be willing to put DJ on there because he makes me he actually makes me feel pretty awesome for being a content creator because of the fact that he stumbles over his words almost as much as I do, or about as much as I do. So makes me happy. Not because he's screwing up, just because there's somebody out there who's human too. You know, yeah, because there's people like Preston Plays or Preston Games, whatever he wants to call himself nowadays, and his wife Brianna. Um, Brianna. I, I don't know how to say her name. Anyway, because they call her both of it. But theirs are always, pretty dang perfect. They're not stumbling over their words. They're not, um, they're not stumbling over their words. They're not going, all the time, like some of us do. Uh, I'm sorry. That's just me, though. But, yeah, there's, like, me and, um, I'm sorry, Waddles, but, me and Waddles do that a lot, and it's like, we don't need to do that, but we do it anyway. So, like, I was thinking about that, like, if you're gonna have a public speaker at somebody's graduation, I mean, at a school graduation, please do not get that person that goes, while they're making the speech 60 million times. Or, my husband had one that said, so in other words, or something like that, like a ton of times. And I'm like, okay, that person was okay. That person needs help. You know, not needs help mentally, just needs help on doing speeches. And then that person, they need help too, and yeah. It's like the really boring part of graduating high school. That you have to listen to those speeches, and there's always that there's always at least one person in the crowd that are going yeah. Or like me, sometimes I use the word and excessively. and but, something like that. Because my brain goes on autopilot and it just wants to, say words, and it's like, those are not the right words. It's like my phone. Um, I, what was I typing? Okay, I have no idea what I was typing, but, like, say I was typing clock and it was trying to change it into frosted or something like that. And it's like, that's not what I was going for at all whatsoever. I don't know what the real word was. It was starting with the FR though. So I don't know what the heck she's eating. Let me put it this way. It's hamburger colored ice cream. No, actually it's not even hamburger colored. Even she just put a ton of some kind of yellow oil on it. And she's smiling like, this is going to be really good when it's done. I'm looking at it going, that's too fancy for me. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but it look okay. At first, it looked like she was mixing something with chocolate ice cream. What is that? What is that? Oh, duh. Okay, I know what that is. Okay, so one of those houses is Scott and Melanie, but I think the other house, I think that house was supposed to be Scott and Melanie, and the other house is supposed to be Angel and Kathy. But it looks like I haven't built the other one yet. I don't know. If I haven't, then I need to, and if I have, where is it? I don't know. Anyway, we'll find it. And if not, we'll build it real quick. Cause I think the one that is furthest away is supposed to be Angel and Kathy, because that's the cat and that's the pirate captain, or well, a pirate captain. Because Morgan's the pirate captain, and then Sean's gonna be the pirate captain. Um, but yeah. So Angel is Angelano de Grisino, and I don't know if I spelled. I didn't. I don't know if I uh I don't know if I made up that last name or if I got it from somewhere, but I don't know if I know how to spell it correctly. But as soon as he is back in the storyline, I'm gonna have to remember how to. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make the AI say his name right, because I don't think I don't think it does. Sometimes. Okay, so Morgan and Hayden and Ashley and all of her siblings, Chantel, Allison, and all of the siblings, they have the last name Havelock. How am I going to do this? Um, they have the last name Havelock, and a lot of the times it does say Havelock, but every once in a while it says Havelock, and that's because I wanted to make him Hayden Hargrave, but then I was like, okay, I can't do that because that's Sister Sunny's last name, and I had like a not a celebrity crush because he's not a celebrity, but I had the celebrity crush thing with her son Chris. He is since married uh somebody else, of course, and I think they have a daughter who is deaf. Yeah, she can't hear. I'm not entirely sure though. Oh, well, okay. So I can either do it this way or I can put it one back, but I think it would be less weird this way. Anyway, I think they have a daughter that's deaf and maybe blind. I can't remember. But um but the Bible definitely says that God doesn't give you a burden that you can't handle. So I'm I'm hoping that, if she is either one of those things or both, that it will be um, okay, you know. I mean, it's not ideal, and unfortunately, she won't sing like grandma necessarily. But like maybe they'll come up with a breakthrough. Medically speaking, maybe they'll come up with a breakthrough, and somebody will come up with a cure for uh being blind and being deaf, you know, or at least being blind. I mean, I don't want anybody to be deaf either. I think that'd be really, really lonely if I couldn't hear anything. I really do. I think that would be really, really lonely. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people out there who can't hear. They've been like that all their lives, and they're fine. But me, I've heard all my life, so um, like, and I wouldn't be able to hear my kids' voices anymore. And I know my husband, he would probably go and say, "Hey, go on headset." Be like, excuse you? Be texting him with my, whatever model. I mean, it's gonna be a Samsung, but text him with my phone, going, did you forget something? Like, I would like to find out nowadays how much. I mean, how far does the internet go? And I'm really confused because like I can go all the way upstairs. Oh, dang it, it's 11:20. Anyway, I can go all the way upstairs, not have one problem. But if I dare go out that door and it's less than 5 feet, all of a sudden whatever I'm listening to on my headphones is very, very garbled. It may just cut out completely. Might be my headset. I mean my headphones, but I don't think so because I bought those uh um I want to say I bought those in 23 or 24. I want to say I bought them in 24 actually. Cuz we needed a way for me to be able to go upstairs, to do laundry and still be able to hear what I'm trying to listen to. Because sometimes I'm working on my story and I'm listening to it in the headphones and I wasn't able to hear it, so Baby doll is online. Please don't invite me to a party. Please don't invite me to a party. It's only because, okay, like I said, I need to eat and I don't want to be on here all day. I want to work on my story. I need to eat. I need to work on my story. I need to do that last litter box. I think that's about it, actually. Well, okay, go on Dreamlight Valley and do the beets and the bell peppers, but other than that, but that's all stuff I can do off stream. Well, I mean, obviously I need to do the eating off stream and the litter box, but I am not going to. As much as I want to make a video of for new cat owners, this is how you clean a litter box, But I'm kind of afraid that somebody's gonna give me ridicule over it. Like that's not how you do a litter box. You're supposed to, bleach it and all that stuff. And I actually had, I mean, there's a guy that, Jackson Galaxy, and I don't know if that's his real name or not, but anyway, Jackson Galaxy thinks he's the cat daddy guru. He knows everything. He just goes by Cat Daddy, but he thinks he knows everything about cats, and literally, he was perpetuating that lie that adult cats do not talk to other adult cats. And, I've got proof. We would probably have to buy a vacuum cleaner. That's another thing I need to do. We need to be able to buy a vacuum cleaner, but we need money first, and book sales would very much help with that, Please. But yeah, oh dang. It's 2 hours already. Okay, but yeah, I would like to be able to buy a vacuum cleaner and use it on the stairs and upstairs and, get it to where it looks like a spotless house. I mean, at least it looks like a spotless house. You know, there we go. We don't need these. Okay, so some of them. Okay. I could have sworn that there was a spot in there somewhere on the hill, on Banshee Hill, that there is a not connected section. Like it didn't have the repeaters and it did have the redstone. I'm not sure if there's still a spot up there, but I would really like to find out. Because I've got this all set up in the dark on purpose. Hey. Okay. Anyway, I've got this all set up in the dark on purpose, so then when I need to, I can go and check the connections and, check the connections by minecart. And, I think after I'm done with after I'm done with the after I'm done with all the redstone and filling in the rest of the fireworks, because there I think are still some more that are not filled. I did that road that we started out on, which leads to the mansion, and I gave up for the night. Wasn't really tired. It was just more of a Um, like I was yawning, but I wasn't really tired. It was more of I need to go to bed now so I can stream in the morning. So I did. And yeah, so that's why I'm as awake as I am right now. But um, literally with lunch, I'm gonna have the rest of that zero coke. I don't like it, so I'm hoping. Um, I mean, I don't not like it, but I don't like it. I know that makes no sense, but like I don't not like it. I just don't like it. It's different. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that it does come in cherry, but maybe only at the W store. Or maybe he was shopping at the W store and it's only at the grocery store. I don't know. But I could have sworn it came in cherry at one point. Um, cherry cola, cherry coke. Um, so in my stories, you will never hear me say cherry coke or Pepsi or 7 Up or Sprite, any of those. Dr. Pepper. You will not hear me say that. And there's one really good reason. I don't want to get sued. So, what I do instead is call it cherry cola, or for Pepsi, wild cherry cola. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for that, but it's the best thing I could come up with for how to say it. But there's times when I'm envisioning, uh, what? Oh, okay. Anyway, there's times when I'm envisioning wild cherry Pepsi, and then there's times when I'm envisioning cherry Coke when I'm thinking of that scene. So, um, okay, so it used to be I liked wild cherry Pepsi. And I still do, but neither one of them really tastes like cherry anymore. Wild cherry Pepsi tasted more like cherry, but really it doesn't taste like cherry either. So I don't know if they're cutting corners or what. Both of them, I mean, you know, Coke and Pepsi. Um, and it used to be that cherry 7 Up tasted like cherry, and it doesn't either. They put antioxidants in there. I don't exactly know what antioxidants are, but they're supposed to be good for you. Um, that's all I know. And so it doesn't taste like cherry anymore. I don't know if that's what was supposed to be. You know, I don't know if it was supposed to taste like cherry before, and now they're not putting it in so much, so it doesn't. So it tastes different now, or if it was supposed to taste. Or if it was supposed to taste like it does now before, and they put too much cherry in it. But I liked it better when it had the cherry flavor. So I don't know. And like I said, I liked the cherry Pepsi probably when it first came out because it had a lot more cherry flavor. So I hope somebody from all uh all companies, because I think 7-Up's got its own company. Although I think my husband was trying to convince me that uh it was working with Pepsi or something like that. Um like it got bought out by I don't know. I don't know who owns it, but as long as whoever's working on Coke, Pepsi, and 7 Up are watching or get wind of it from somebody else, um, bring back the cherry flavor. The real cherry flavor. Not leave us hanging like, chocolate nowadays. I was watching a video and it said that they're using different materials. They're not actually using chocolate anymore. And I've been tasting the chocolate and it doesn't taste like chocolate anymore. Hot chocolate hasn't tasted like chocolate in years. Um, like even when I was a kid, it stopped tasting like chocolate and just tasted like hot water that happened to have a little bit of flavor to it. Very little. Although it wasn't as creepy as the time that I had a sore throat, and I want to say it's a product called Throat Coat. Anyway, it was really weird because uh, it tasted like the fried rice-roni. I don't mean the stir fried. I mean the fried rice-roni. I don't like the stir fried. It doesn't taste right. The fried rice-roni was just fine, and then they don't have it here in Nevada at all, or at least our part of Nevada. And I am frustrated. Now, that's something else I could do. I could order, the fried rice by the case if they still make it, and if they don't, then that is sad. That was our favorite flavor. It's the one that works the best. Because we don't really like I think it's broccoli and cheddar. We don't really like that one. Um, Although, taste change. We could try it again. But I was told my husband if we could get a thing of chicken rice-a-roni, I could make a dinner tonight. Although I'd definitely have to take a nap first. I don't. I'm just not a nap person usually. But when this thing happens where I had caffeine too late in the day. Oh, no, 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 no. Because, wait. See? But it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not on. Let me put it that way. I don't know why it's not on. Okay. So, let's finish this. So I wanted to put, if I remember correctly, some trees in the parking lots, but that's going to be a next year thing. If I finish, okay, say I finish this today, it'll be on, I'll be on for today, and then, I'll finish it today, and then I will, either make the video tomorrow or I'll make it, after I've had a nap. But then that, gives the problem of what if my husband's home? He likes to peanut gallery. Um, Although that's good because then I got a second pair of eyes and he'll go and say, that one didn't go off. I'll be like, man, and I'll go and fix it. And in fact, one year, everything was set up perfect. Everything was set up perfect. And fireworks were not going off. And I did not understand why. And I still don't. But, yeah, they weren't going off for some reason. So, so we just, made do with what we had, and because it's like everything was set up correctly. But I think that was before I figured out the 9. Um, you put the um, repeater on the 9, and it seems to help it be where it's supposed to be. I mean, it seems to help the redstone energy flow. That is pretty cool because both Taj and his cousin Idris seem to want to help Mama with the cooking, and I'm not sure why, but you don't really need to know why. Just that they want to do it, and it's really cool. So technically, okay, so technically, well, technically all those should be on. Um, no, but that's not what I was saying. Okay, that's the pirate store, and that's um the paintball and airsoft, and that's the shop for it. And then what is this? Oh, that's the shooting range where you learn how to shoot. That is bar, but only part of it's put together apparently. There's supposed to be like 4 tables all put together. I mean, not put together, but like 4 individual tables. That's a Chinese food restaurant, and that's where Raphael's opening up his bachelor party presents. Okay, so um this is the school, and I'm trying to make the exact same school from over there over here, but all indoors. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm going to sure try. Okay, so yeah, those are all good. So I found out that if I'm going around a corner or going to going the right or the left like this, that I gotta be very careful because, I mean, I had to leave a gap and be very careful because it wasn't working the way it's supposed to. I just wanted it flowing. That is not okay. What? What? That is stupid. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm probably teaching your kids bad habits. Um, or teaching the kids bad habits. Hopefully not, but it is. um, because there's nothing powering it. It's not like there's something on the pressure plate. I mean, not the pressure plate, this thing. There's not anything on there. It's just there. So, okay. So now we need to go up the mountain, the hill, whatever you want to call it. It's more of a mountain, actually. It's like when you're okay, it's like when you're in, say, San Francisco, because everybody knows where that is. Um like you're in San Francisco and you're trying to get to South Lake Tahoe. And okay, so oh, anyway, you're trying to get to South Lake Tahoe, and so you're going up the mountain, but in this case, it's a hill. I mean, it's called a hill. It's there's no reason for it to be called a hill actually, but it's kind of like okay. I guess it's kind of like the one in The Outsiders. They call it J Mountain, but it's probably more of a hill. I don't know. I just know that there was an old church on there, and I don't know why, but S.E. Hinton made everybody um, smoke cigarettes, and I'm like, okay, that's where I draw the line. I don't smoke cigarettes. My grandma quit so she could see all of us grandkids. I'm not going there. Uh, well, the bad guy sometimes smokes, but that's a bad guy. And I only put that in there because that's what he was doing when I was dreaming about it. Because I've told you that Hayden got kidnapped, but I've never told you more than that. Well, he got kidnapped for his computer skills, and somehow the bad guy Max got a hold of the numbers for the four richest bank accounts in the world. Well, two of them, sort of, belong to Morgan. One is Morgan's personal bank account, the other one's for Shatana's. And, no, that was Sean. Um, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyway, four richest bank accounts in the world. So, like, say, uh, Trump, Bill Gates, or whoever owns Microsoft now, Elon Musk, and a fourth person. I don't know any other rich people. I mean actors and actresses, but they're not the richest. But anyway, he has to hack into those four bank accounts. Well, he wasn't gonna do it. He was like, "No, I'm not doing it." So then Max was like, "Well, then we're gonna have to unalive you." That might also be Sean. I know he got threatened to be unalived. Um, basically, as long as he did what he was told. Because I had the same thing happen to both of them. I just thought it sounded good, you know. Um, Unfortunately, I do that with some scenes where this character had this problem and they went through it, and then the next character comes along later and I do it again. But I'm hoping that there's going to be enough books in there that not too many people notice. But but yeah, they even make uh they even make Hayden break down the computer, pull out all of the little parts. Those little pokey things on the motherboard. He even had to take those out. I don't know if you know what a motherboard looks like, but it's green and it's got pokey things, and you gotta be careful because it will eat your finger, kind of thing. Um, I the motherboard's like the brain of the operation in a computer, and I almost wish that they could do it different so it was softer, but they can't. Um, anyway, he was supposed to break all the little pieces down, and he did. He went, he had like a box of tools, and he's supposed to break it down. Um, he it was either he hacked into it or Morgan hacked into it. I can't remember. But one of those two hacked into it, and and I think in my dream he was asking, how does somebody with your computer skill set, do something like this? Because he thinks that she's got mediocre skills at that point, and she doesn't. She's like better than Jake, and Jake or she's either better than Jake or Jake first and then she's second. And then yeah, I think that's what it is. Anyway, and then Hayden was third. So they couldn't get Morgan on her own, and they couldn't get Jake on his own. So they ended up grabbing Hayden when he was walking home alone. So, no, because they wanted Morgan first. And then they were settling for Jake. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, and like I always say, I wrote it down so I didn't have to remember. Yeah. um. So yeah, this is going over longer than I wanted it to because I'm trying to get all this. I'm trying to get all this put in place and all of the fireworks in place and all that, so I don't have to do anything but make the video. And the problem is I need to eat and go upstairs and what the hey is that? Oh, hey. Okay. Anyway, um yeah, it's like I'm looking at it and I still don't know what it is. It's like it kind of looks like a meatball with a different kind of sauce on it, and if it was um like cookie cutter flat, where the sides have a little bit of depth but not very much, like maybe an inch. I don't know. Not as high as a quiche though. I've seen quiche and they look, like they're 2 inches taller or more. So okay, so I need to finish this, but like I said, I got other things to do. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this, or I'm probably going to finish this. I don't know if I'm going to finish this or if I'm going to keep, go with what I said and, go with what I said and actually, because it shouldn't take too long. That's 1 or 2 tiers up. TIERS, not crying tears. Um, but yeah, that's 1 or 2 tiers up from where we are, so it shouldn't take too long. But it will take a while, and if I can at least get this done, then I can fill in those fireworks tomorrow, and it won't be a big deal. I don't know. But, yeah, I was gonna. What? Oh, okay. That, you know, I haven't even been playing Dreamlight Valley that long today. I literally did one thing. Um, Yeah, I literally did one thing. I had to go and figure it out first, though, because the the okay, so they're on the on the floating island, the springtime floating festival, they call it. There are two books, and apparently they're glitched out. So if you open them once, you can never open them again. Which wasn't helping because I need to do the um you give the bunny rabbit a flower every day, and you got to do it 4 times. Um, yeah, you got to do it 4 times. So if you do it 4 times, then you get the special prize thing, and I got it. Um, I got it yesterday, and I was really happy because I got it yesterday and I got it today. So I just got 2 more days left and it's all good. I thought it was going to be 3. So I thought, do it tomorrow and it's all good. No. So I got to do it tomorrow and the next day. And then that is when a new thing is supposed to be available to do. And then after that, oh dang, it's 63 outside. Okay. Anyway, and then after that, um, there'll be a thing on Wednesday. Well, it says 6 days from today, actually. Usually says 6 days when it is Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, um, next week. I don't know which, but Wednesday, Thursday next week, and then a week after that, and a week after that. Yeah. Um, so far, I've been able to actually figure it out on my own, except for the flowers, because I would have to give one of each flower to the Tinkerbell capybara. Capybara. Some people say capybara, some people say capybara. I think it's a tomato thing. Or they just don't know how to say it. There's a whole bunch of people who say capybara. That's not how you say it. Or capybara. That's not how you say it. It's capybara. It's I don't remember what I saw, but I don't know what I saw, but that's definitely how Google says it. And I think I typed it into my, but that was so long ago that I wouldn't know one way or the other. But anyway, I think I put it into my AI program, and that's also how it was pronounced. So, I got, I got Speechalo, and what I'm doing with it is I'm turning my book into an audio, each and every one of my books into an audio so I can listen to it and see where the typos are, or see where continuity blew it and she's wearing a purple shirt on one page and a red shirt on the other page and didn't change, you know. Because when I was using it as an example earlier, probably didn't make much sense. So, okay, I've got 4 minutes left. Until I'm really late. I don't want to, I don't want to stream all day. I can do this off stream, and then if I get done and get the grand finales figured out and everything, then you can just see the final product on 4th of July. Another project I have to do is figure out what number 4th of July video this is. I still have not figured it out yet. I have not gone. I have not gone looking. So I'm gonna like go back to July 4th, 2025, I think, and see if I can find that answer. Work my way forward till to the spot this year where it says what number it is. I think I started. Okay, so I think I started that this year, but I'm gonna go back to July last year just to make sure. Um, but yeah, I think I started it this year, and I'm already here. That's awesome. And I took like 2 months off too. So anyway, I don't know if that's what it was or not. On this one, the houses are not finished, so it's gonna look really weird when we're going down the street. But you're not even gonna notice because the fireworks are gonna distract you. Um, I could go and I need to use this file to remind me where the church is supposed to go. Now that I think about it, but I could build as many houses as I can. But I'm gonna be tempted to build the insides too, and I just want to build the outsides. Um, I just want to build the outsides so you can tell what it is and what it's supposed to be. It doesn't always work, but yeah, because I'm like any job worth doing is, um, should be done right, and like the problem is that I want my son's help, but then on the other hand, I don't want him to mess with anything. So sometimes he gets into a playful mood and messes with it instead of doing what he's supposed to do. But actually, okay, so like if he could go and just make a magic snowball for that particular, because that's what he did on the other file. If he could make a magic snowball that does white houses, concrete white houses, that's all it really needs. Then I could place them myself and, um, you know, get help when I need it. But I don't know. Anyway, so I write books and they are available on Amazon. They ship everywhere Amazon ships to. Um, they're available for free shipping and they come in hardback, paperback, and ebook. Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, and Hard Times are all $26 each for the hardback. Esperanza's Party is 24, The Island is 25, and Lessons in Love is 27. Adopted Coral does not come in hardback at this time, but if I can, you know, if I can get the information and pictures back again somehow, then I will definitely put it together with Ben's book when I finally write that, and um, and put them together so it can be in hardback. Um, Although I'm sorry, it's probably gonna have to be a wonderful bargain of uh, 8, 10, $12, if there's 2 books involved. Um, Still gonna be a small book though, probably. I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out then. And then all of my books are all my bigger books are $20 for the paperback. Adopted Coral is a wonderful bargain at $6. Um, so it's that they ship to other countries, so there will be different money values for those countries. It'll make sense for that country. I just have not memorized each money symbol and how much it is. Because like one of them, it had a symbol by it, and I don't know what kind of symbol. Anyway, it has a symbol by it, and it said it was like 25. And I'm like, 25 what? And how much does that translate into American money, Um, and I looked at it and it was a lot. So, well, it might have been 35 actually. But, well, I think one of them says 25, another one says 35. Something like that. And, anyway, it's interesting to me. And then Coral is $2.99 for the ebook. Pirate's Daughter is $3.05 for the ebook. Esperanza's Party is $3.05 for the ebook. Misfortune is $5. Hard Times is $5. The Island is $5. And Lessons in Love is $5. So, if you're watching me on Twitch right now, oh, hey. Oh, no, best viewers, never mind. Okay. If you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. Please buy my books. And I'm gonna get this wall all the way up, and then we'll we'll totally end the stream. I'm a little sorry that it's so long, but on the other hand, I'm happy because you're seeing a lot of what I'm doing, and then you're probably like totally amazed, how'd she get that far when you come back? So if you're not totally amazed, you probably work with Redstone all the time. So anyway, I'm hoping everybody will like it when it comes out in July. On the 4th at, I don't know if I'm going to put it out at 2 or if I'm going to put it out at 6, both PM. I'm not sure yet because, I'd like to get it out in enough time that, little kids can watch it maybe instead of trying to stay up, until 9 o'clock and watch the fireworks and get home. I'm thinking that's hard on the parents. Or like you got that kid that's, they're old enough that they would stay up until midnight if they were allowed to. And so they're like, when's the fireworks? When's the fireworks? When's the fireworks? When's the fireworks? They can watch those fireworks and then watch the real ones, I mean, they can watch these fireworks that I'm putting together right now. And, those are all full, by the way. I know they're little single rider ones, but they're all full. I watched, one of Fresh Baked's videos yesterday. His name is David. So, um, yeah. So if I say something weird like, like if I stream later and I say something weird like single rider fireworks or something like that, that's why. Okay. So I'm gonna get over there, and then that's where I'll end the stream. Like I said, I have to go to the bathroom. I need to eat. Need to catch up on those videos. I probably need to add more videos to the list. I gotta finish that litter box. What the freaking. No. So, I learned that kind of getting upset, streaming friendly getting upset like that from Yosemite Sam. Just saying. On Looney Tunes. He's the little short guy with the big hat. Okay. Anyway, I will see you in the next stream or video.